welcome to Remote STEM Class with Mr. Dowd. So today we're going to continue on with the Google Drawings tool. So this is where I left off last time. I'm just going to continue on. Remember, to get to this page, you got to go into Google and type in Google Drawings, and that'll open the application. It's not up in the top right-hand corner anymore. Or, well, it's not one of the favorited ones, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to continue on and show you how to do the coloring on these different polygons, okay? So say I want to move this crescent, right? It was a crescent from before. One thing I forgot to show you guys was this little yellow guy, this little yellow one. We'll move the pitch of it, so it'll make it more concave. All right, just a quick little tool. So when you select the polygon, you can go over to here, which is border color. You can go then pick the color you want. So say I want it to be, I think this is magenta. I don't know, Mrs. Bloomer might yell at me, but yeah, it is magenta, haha. So see how that changed from black to magenta? I can also go over to this button. This is border weight. So this is going to change the thickness of the border. All right, so say I want to do 8. So that got a lot thicker. You can go up to 24 times thicker. Okay. Let's leave that like 2. And now the fill button. You see how this is like kind of colored in blue like? That's where you're going to be able to change the full color of it. So let's make it, I don't know, let's go yellow. So it looks like a moon now, right? Kind of. A little bit like a moon. But it only works as if you have that blue line. So there has to be no gaps in it. So say I go and make a polygon. And say I want to end it right there. See how there's a gap there? It didn't get colored in. So if I go ahead and try to select it, the border, it's awkward because it has to like just go to a random finishing point. All right, whereas if it was all in, oh, wrong tool, polyline. See how that colored in? So now it'll color in that exact spot, whereas here it had to kind of guess where to make it colored in. Okay, let's get rid of these guys. So you can copy and paste in here, which is a cool little trick. So to copy, remember you highlight the object, or just select it. You can either right click and press copy. See how it's Control C? And you can right click where you want, and then paste, Control V to paste another one. Okay. The other thing you can do is use a text tool. All right. So a text box. So if I click there, click here, I can say STEM class. Say I want to start labeling different objects. All right. You can change here, just like in Google Docs. You can go ahead and do whatever you want to the letters. You can also move it around, kind of thing. All right. So the last, oh, well, 2 more things I want to show you. So the insert image button. I know my 5th grade is doing a lot with this, but just for everyone else, go here. So just like you did in Google Slides, you click on that, you can go search the web. Say I want to type in a picture of the moon. So crescent moon kind of looks like that a little bit, just flipped. So maybe click, hold, and drag it over. It'll automatically create the image over for you. You can resize it however you want. All right. All I did was click, hold, and drag. Recreates the image. Also, you can go ahead and upload a picture from your computer. So those are little helpful tips for you. Might do another one on this subject. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'll let you know. So, have a good day, guys. Happy Tuesday.
Hi, Gators. Did you ever wonder what to do with your bananas that are kind of mushy? if you don't like to eat them, but you don't really want to throw them away. Well, today we're going to learn how to make banana bread. There are a ton of different recipes out there for banana bread, but it's pretty basic and very easy to make. So first you need 2.5 cups of flour. Okay. Some of you may have made this before. I think somebody in the chat on one of our Zoom calls told me that they made it. 1 cup. Two cups. And I need 1/2. So 2.5 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, I usually have everything right in front of me, but today I went to the store, so I'm kind of stuffed all over. So 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder, which is this stuff. So teaspoon, tablespoon. So this is 1 teaspoon. They're very little. You need 3 of these, 3.5. You don't need a lot of this stuff, just to get it to 1, 2, 3. A little bit more. All right, and then you need 3 tablespoons of canola oil. Remember, tablespoons are bigger than teaspoons. So. Okay. Let's see what else. 1 1/4 cup of milk. See what my milk is. 1 1/4 cup. Doesn't matter what kind of milk. One cup and 1/4 cup. And 1 egg. I have 1 egg here. All right, so now we have everything but the bananas. So, some people, you can also freeze your bananas once they get mushy. If you want to save them for future use, they freeze really well too. Bet you didn't know that. You could freeze your bananas. So the mix is doing this. Okay. And there's a ton of different recipes out there. This one I just happened to find. I think my mother gave me this one. Now the bananas have to be mushy. It doesn't really work well if the bananas aren't mushy. See how they just kind of fall apart. So I'm putting 2 bananas in. It calls for 1.5, sometimes 1. I think it's pretty much preference, whatever you have left for your bananas. I wouldn't do more than 2 though. So I'm mixing it all up in the batter. So this is gonna go in the oven at 375 for about 45 minutes. And just like we did with the brownies, you're gonna check the center with a toothpick or a fork to make sure it's dry and not still wet. That's how you know it's done. So this is gonna go in a loaf pan like this. Okay, so it's gonna look like this before we put it in the oven. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, and then I will check on it and I'll let you know how it is. So this took about an hour, so just so you know, I stuck a fork all the way down, and if, see how clean it is? That means it's cooked all the way through. So you don't want to cut it right away. You want to let it cool before you cut it, otherwise it'll fall apart. But other than that, it came out great. So yeah, I want to say it took an hour, longer than I thought, but you got to remember the middle has to get cooked too. So see you next time.
Hey everybody, we're going to do a real quick screencastify here to just kind of check in and see how your scene writing is going. So here I have my time, my place, my at rise, all 3 of these right here. All right, and you guys should already have that part. And you also have your opening monologue, right? So my opening monologue is, Hansel, it has been so long. Will he even remember what I look like? The years have aged me so much. I don't know why I agreed. I wish my Gretel were still here. I can feel her presence through this letter. But that is not enough. She was my guiding light, which I guess is the reason I am standing here in this square. I only hope that this does not lead to heartbreak. That's him. Even after all these years, I recognize him at a glance. My son, Stefan. Oh, Gretel, give me the strength. Once my opening monologue is done, now I start what's called the dialogue. This is the conversation between 2 or more characters. The 2 characters I have are Hansel and Stefan. It's really important that you stay focused on the conflict. Remember, there is a reason that these 2 characters have not spoken in many, many years, and we did that through their character profiles. Okay? And then you start writing the rest of your scene. To write the scene, you write the character's name, then a colon, which are the 2 dots, 2 spaces, and then what the character says. You do not need quotation marks here, because the way dialogue is written, it's just what they say. Okay? So Hansel, it has been a long time. Stefan, and it'd be longer if I didn't have to receive this letter. Hansel, well, since you have the letter, I suppose we should have a talk. All right? So this is the opening of my scene. the scene should have 3 parts. All right, and those 3 parts are the beginning, the middle, and the end. Right? Fairly simple, but our beginning sets the stage. Our beginning up here tells us what is happening. The middle is the meat. Think about it as a sandwich, right? So you got the bread. You can't have a sandwich without the bread. That's the beginning and the end. But the middle, that's the meat. That's the juicy part. That's where all your flavor comes in. So the middle of our scene is when we really have this deep, meaningful dialogue between the 2 characters so we can figure out why there is so much conflict between them. And then the end will be that conflict's resolution. All right, so keep working on these scenes. They are going to be due this Friday. Okay, this Friday we're going to be done with this project. So let's get them going, and I can't wait to read them. Good job, Gator.
Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at some art from Japan. I know you guys are familiar with Goku, and he was from the series Dragon Ball. I know a little bit about it. So this artwork is called anime. Animation, and in Japan they called it anime, short for animation. So you can make animation or anime by drawing it by hand, or you can make digital animation and make digital art. Okay, so today we're going to look at this image here. So this is a good example of that anime style. We're also going to be looking at a realistic drawing of a portrait drawing of a person, and we're going to be comparing it with that anime style. Okay, so if you take a peek right here, we have a portrait in the anime style. There it is. We're going to compare it with a drawing that's drawn a little bit more realistically. So we have those 2 images side by side. When I look at an anime drawing, I notice right away the very large eyes and very simply drawn nose and mouth. Also, the shape of the head is a little different. When we're drawing portraits in the realistic style, I often ask you guys to start with an oval shape, and then it gets a little bit changed from there. But with the anime style, the head looks very round at the top, and I don't know if you noticed this very sharp point for the chin. You can see it in this Goku as well. So a round top of the head before we put all this hair, of course, but the original head shape was probably round at the top and comes to a pointy chin. Okay, so those are some styles or features of the style of anime that you might notice. Look at those eyes. So always like these really large eyes. Okay, so what we're going to do is look at a couple of other pieces of anime art. And you'll notice again those big eyes. Okay, they all kind of have that sort of shaggy looking hairstyle too. A little bit like messy hair. That's something I notice. But they always have like those big eyes and kind of simplified nose and mouth. Anime. So anime originated in Japan, but it's very popular throughout the world. Here's another image that I thought was kind of neat. So you have the big eyes, the simple looking nose and mouth, and kind of that shaggy sort of spiky hair. Look at that guy. Ah. All right, so what we're going to be doing next is we're going to draw an anime portrait. So you're going to need a piece of paper, and you're going to need a pencil. And we have our images that we can look at to help us so we know that we're working in the right style. The big eyes, the messy hair, the small nose and mouth. Okay? So the first step is let's draw that head shape. So we're going to be drawing a head shape that's round at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to start with my head shape that's kind of round at the top. And I'm going to give my person a kind of a pointy, ooh, I really made it pointy. I don't know if I wanted it to be quite that pointy, but there it is. Next, what I'm going to be doing is drawing those really large eyes. I feel like it kind of starts like that, and maybe it's just a little bit of some kind of a line here, like this. That's kind of like what I see when I look at these anime styles. Something like this. And then I see those big, for this guy, he's got those big, large, the iris part of the eye is pretty big. A little bit, it looks a little bit like an alien to me right at this point. So I have those large eyes in that anime style, like a pupil. And I'm just going to make that super simple nose, just like the letter L almost, and just a little line for the mouth, and maybe just a little something underneath. So it's somewhat that anime style. Looks a little bit like that. I'm going to give my person kind of like a Goku hairstyle, I think. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm going to do like these big spiky pieces coming up like this. And then maybe kind of go down like this and do a little spiky bangs. Like that. Keep this round. Do some other spiky chunks of hair coming out. So for me, I think it looks a little bit like that anime style. You may have been drawing in that anime style already, and you may do a little bit better than me to draw in that anime style. Because my style that I enjoy drawing in, for the most part, is more of that realistic looking style. But I do like anime too. I think it's very interesting. So now I can just go in and color it all in. Maybe if I darken these eyes a little bit, they'll look even more like that anime style. So I might just kind of darken in this part, like this, and then something like that. All right, guys, I'm gonna fix this. That's a little too pointy for me. All right, so there's my guy. I'm gonna shade in this eye too. Just a little bit. So you guys can go ahead and make an anime character. Make a portrait. We already made a realistic portrait, and I know a lot of you guys asked if you could do it in the anime style. So now you can. So have fun making your anime portrait. And I look forward to seeing them. Enjoy.
Hey guys, back on the playground. I'm Mr. Yamin.
I'm Miss Reedy.
And we had a tough one yesterday. You should be a little sore, so we're going to get a good stretch today. Now, when I do an upper body stretch, we're going to have to go somewhere near a doorway or a wall. Then Miss Reedy's going to stretch out your legs, get you nice and loose, and get you prepared for tomorrow. Okay, let's get our upper body stretch. We're going to stretch our pecs, our shoulders, all right? Let's get nice and loose. You worked them hard yesterday. We're going to go single arm, so it's a 15 seconds for each stretch. Okay, you got to find a doorway or something you can grab. So we're going to start with our left arm, okay, and just kind of lean forward nice and easy. Let's count for 15. Release. Go to our right arm. I'm going to have to turn my back on this one, all right? So we're going to go our right arm. Same thing. 15 seconds. Release. Back to our left. Let's put it at a medium height. Just kind of lean in. Hold for 15. Good. Release. Switch. Go to our right. Hold for 15. Lean in a little bit, not too far. Make sure you feel the stretch. Good. Back to our left. Let's go nice and high now. Okay. Lean in 15 seconds. Again, don't stretch too far. You want to feel that muscle. Once you feel a good stretch, just stop right there. Don't overstretch. Let's switch. Right arm. Hold for 15. Very good. Now let's take your left arm, turn your hand. Okay, so the back side of your hand's against the wall. And lean out. Hold for 15. We want to get that biceps tendon in that front of your shoulders, your front deltoids. Very good. Same thing. Right arm, back of the hand against the wall. Lean out. Hold for 15. Very good. Last one. Okay. If you can put your hand against the wall, cross your body, just kind of push with your left and lean out. Get the back of your shoulders, your lats, your whole upper body here. Very good. Left hand against the wall, right hand against it, lean out. Good. Okay, that's a good upper body stretch. Hopefully it gets you nice and loose for tomorrow. I'm going to turn it over to Miss Reedy.
Thanks, Mr. Yamin, for that great upper body stretch. Because of yesterday's workout, we're now going to stretch out our quadriceps and our gluteus maximus. So let's go ahead and do a simple basic one first, where you grab your leg, and we're going to hold for 15. And switch. If you're still next to that wall, by all means, you can hold the wall. All right, nice. Now relax. Now either go to your bed or get a chair and just kind of raise your foot up, and we're going to stretch our hamstring here. Okay, again, it's just a different way. We've done something similar, just a different way to do it. And switch. Again, each one's 15. All right, if you can go to your wall or some solid ground or backing, and I'm gonna do it over here. Put the ball of your feet up against the wall, and you're gonna lean forward. We're gonna stretch our calf muscle right here. And again, because we're doing two legs, it'll be 15 seconds apiece. And switch. Make sure you rotate your upper hips kind of towards the wall. All right, nice. Okay, in your chair or again your bed, we're gonna stretch our glutes, our gluteus maximus, which is your butt cheek, and you're gonna pull your knee up to your chest. And switch. All right, we're gonna do the butterfly stretch, which is you're growing on the inside of your legs. We're just gonna first just kind of no pressure, no elbows, and just kind of push down naturally with your legs. All right, now use your elbows. Nice, and last one. Again, just gonna lean to our side and we're gonna do our our quadriceps again. And switch to the other side. All right, thanks guys.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Enrichment TV, Gators. Remember, work hard, be nice, and we'll see you tomorrow.